Sometimes we must live through the darkness in order to see the light. We must visualize.
Hey everyone, thank you for your kind words from my video last week. Really meant a lot that a lot of you do struggle yourselves and just, yeah. I missed talking about something last week that I've also struggled with in my life. I used to be a cutter, not as bad as you see some people, but I used to take just a normal razor, and instead of going down, I'd do sideways. And usually I would do my upper arms or my upper legs. Found that it's easier for me to bear physical pain than it is emotional pain. So I found when I couldn't deal with emotional pain, I would cut myself. Don't really have any scars from it because I didn't cut that deep, but if anyone's ever accidentally cut themselves with a razor that way, you know how itchy that can be, and so I don't know why that was my choice of pain. Um, I do still have urges now to cut, but I haven't cut in 5 years or since I've been married. I've had the urge, but I haven't done it, and I think that's a really good thing. So moving on, today I'm going to talk about my knee surgeries. So when I was living in Edmonton, the second time, I was working at a store called Future Shop, which is an entertainment store, sells music, movies, car audio, TVs, everything like that. I was working in the car audio section, not sure why I was selling car audio, but it was a job, and I was on my feet a lot, and I found that my knees would really start hurting, and I found myself having to sit down on the subwoofer cases a lot. And I remember I got in trouble a few times for sitting down on the job, but I was just in so much pain, and so I kept going back to the doctor to get it checked out, and they thought I just had fluid in my knees. So twice I had fluid taken out of my knees, and if anyone's ever had fluid taken out of a joint, it's really painful, and so they just thought it was that. And finally I went and I got an MRI, and turned out that I had avascular necrosis again. It was in both of my knees, but my left knee was worse than my right. So I went back to see Dr. Worley, my orthopedic surgeon, and he decided to do a knee replacement instead of doing any trial thing because that didn't work, and I didn't want to ruin my quality of life with having painful knees at the age of 24, 25, however old I was at the time. So I ended up getting both of my knees replaced at the same time, same surgery, everything, because he thought it would be easier instead of doing the worst knee one year and the next year, which I'm actually really grateful for because knee replacement surgery is very painful. Hip surgery was a breeze, knees, it was terrible. Before the surgery, we asked, like, when will I be walking again? And one of the nurses described it as when you're building an IKEA table, you don't let it rest before you use it right away. So then the night after my surgery, I was up shuffling to the bathroom. Felt very, very weird because I'd literally been cut off at the knees and put back together. I had a very hard time recovering from my knee surgery. My mom got diagnosed with eye cancer, so she and my dad went to Toronto to get some treatment there. So I was left on my own. I had moved back to Lethbridge and was living at my parents' house for the surgery, and my noni, or my grandma, she came and would make me lunch, and I got to the point where I'm like, no, I'll just do it all by myself, like I'll just have everything that I need near me, and she doesn't need to come. So essentially, I was just laying in bed doing absolutely nothing except for to get up to go to the bathroom. And that really hindered my recovery. My mom got back. She was not happy with me because I didn't do anything. I was going to physiotherapy at the Lethbridge Regional Hospital, but I was with a bunch of old people, and their range of motion wasn't as important as me getting my range of motion back. So when I went back about a month after my surgery to see the orthopedic surgeon, he was not happy with my range of motion. I ended up going to a different physiotherapist, who's a sports physiotherapist, and things really turned around from there. what probably should have only taken me about 6 to 8 weeks to recover from, it took me a lot longer to be able to get my range of motion back and to be able to move again. If you've ever had a knee replacement, you know one of the big hurdles or one of the big milestones after surgery is being able to do a full circle on a bike. And I remember the first time I did that again, it was so exciting because it's basically the best range of motion you can get after your knees being done. I still today I can't bend my knees fully as they should. They are straight mostly, but I do struggle with a lot of things with my knees. I do ride my bike sometimes, but I have this fear that I'm going to fall off, and I just do not enjoy riding bikes anymore. Since I've been married, Josh has really pushed me, and my range of motion is now a lot better than it was before I moved to Australia, so that's another good thing. And I've been a lot more active now than I ever was before any of my surgeries, and my knees and my hip haven't really hindered any of that. When I moved to Australia, I wasn't really sure what to do about seeing an orthopedic surgeon here, because the one back in Canada, I saw him yearly, and the one here, I went 3-4 years without even seeing one. So I asked my oncologist, and he's like, oh, I'll get you a referral to one. And I finally saw one last year, and he's like, you know what? You're doing fine. He's like, your knees look good, your hip looks good. I probably don't need to see you for another 5 years. And he's like, I know they say you need to replace it every 10 to 15 years, but the quality of your replacements are really good, and you may not ever need to get them done again. So that was really good news. And so yeah, I don't have to see another orthopedic surgeon for a couple years now, and it's all going good. I do get paranoid that my other joints will fail me, but it's been good, and I do get pain like a person with arthritis does. So when the weather changes, my joints do hurt, but yeah, other than that, it's good. So next week I'm going to talk about how I met Josh, my husband, and how I got to live in Australia. I will get him to do his side of that as well. So we'll see you next week.
Sometimes we must live through the darkness in order to see the light. We must visualize.